Hey there, how's it going? Today we're going to be looking at another track from Final Fantasy VII. Today it's going to be Tifa's theme, one of the main themes from the game. Like previous times, let's have a look at the harmony first. So we're in the key of F. So we got the F chord, and then B flat minor. That's a well-used chord progression. So no matter what key you're in, if you play the 1 chord and then you play the 4 chord. Now the 4 chord is normally major. I wonder what if we changed it to. So if Nobuo had went for the normal choice or the more diatonic choice of B flat major being the 4 chord, that's the kind of thing we would have heard. But making the 4 chord minor is extremely popular as well. So it's a chord that's borrowed from the parallel minor. So if this case if we're in F major, the parallel minor is F minor. And if I play the 4 chord, or if I go through the chords of that key, right, so the 4 chord in F minor is B flat minor. And there's lots of chords. Because major harmony is quite limited, unlike minor harmony, which has the harmony that can be taken from all those different variants with natural, harmonic, melodic minor. There is just the one major scale, and so it can get a bit dull, which is why composers often will take chords from minor keys or other places in general to try and spice up some of the harmony for major. And this is definitely one of the most used examples. F major, B flat minor, and back again. So. Also, another addition, because if it was just the triad, it would be this, right? So another crucial thing that's added is it's not just the 4 minor, it's often the 6 color is added to it. So it's not just the 1 chord going to the 4 minor, it's that the 4 minor has an extension, which is the 6. So instead of just triads, which would be this, now you get just adds even like a sense of yearning to the. And when we get to the melody, we'll talk about the fact that that was the 6 that adds that color is the melodic choice as well, right? So the intro continues. Largely, it's the melody that's changing. If you have the so there's the next change of harmony. So it's just between F and B flat minor for ages until you get to that last phrase of the intro. Where is it? So that's C minor. So if we've been having this the whole time, then so that's the 5 chord if we're in the key of F. So it's the 5, and it's a minor 5, so it's the natural 5. Unlike the harmonic minor scale, which would have given us C major. So it's the 5 built from the F natural minor scale. Okay, and then the main melody comes in with but still the 1 chord. Still the 4 minor. Back to the 1. There is these little added, so it's not just a triad, that would be. There's this added 2. Again, like the prelude. There's loads of tracks across the whole soundtrack that add that 9 as an extension. So here's a change. Right, the whole time we've heard F going to B flat minor 6 and back again. So finally we get something different. So we get A minor, which is the 3, if I'm in the key of F. A minor is the 3 chord. And 3 is often used as a substitute for 1. There's that idea of taking the 7 diatonic chords. So if you have, there's 7 to choose from, but they're usually put into 3 buckets. So you have the 3 chords with the most relaxed sense of tension, in that there's very little. So the 1, the 3, and the 6 are quite chilled. And you can, in terms of tension, you can use them interchangeably. And then 2 and 4 is the next level up. And then 5 and 7 is the most. Slightly biased because I'm playing louder and higher. Let's see. So here's 1, 3, 6. Let's try to go down and see if it's still. And then it would usually resolve, but it could usually go to the 5. Going from the 5 to the 1 is the most obvious, but that doesn't mean you couldn't go to one of those other relaxed choices. So that was C7 going to A minor, which is the 3. Could also go to the 6. But so this is the choice of going to the 3. There's the 4 there. It's this lovely little walk down. So B flat major, that's our 4 chord. D minor, but with second inversions so that we get the 5th of this chord. D, if this is D minor, D is the 1, so A is the 5, and that's the lowest. And then G minor. What's interesting about that is because if you were just walking down the scale, it would have went. So it's more interesting to have one of them be an inversion. Okay, then now we're playing the 2 chord again, G minor. 5. Tension. Back to the 1. That's his little climb up in thirds. So moving any melody around thirds is always pretty. Or 6s. As opposed to intervals of seconds, which is a lot more harsh. So threes are pretty. So that's another really interesting chord. So this is if this one of you're in a major key and you go to the 4 chord, which is minor with a 6 on it. If that's a commonly used borrowed chord, then this one is up there in terms of how much it's used. So this is not in the key of F, because F would have a E natural, so this would be diatonic or in the key. So, but it is in F minor, right? So it's another chord taken from the parallel minor, although it's used so often in the major that you would think it would be. And then you also get this cliche move of if that's the flat 7, you get that chromatic rise a lot of the time. So you get this. Or even just okay. Nice. So that E flat major resolving to D minor, which is the normal 6 chord in the key of F. That's a really cool idea. So if you were in the key of F, the normal type of G chords you would get would be G minor, which we've already had. All this, that was G minor. But now at the ends, we're, to surprise you, so I'm going from D minor to G major. Does a kind of repeat. It's more about the melody dropping down an octave. Well, I think the harmony is fairly similar. Let's just see. There's that 9 again. Here's the A minor. This little fall. B flat major. D minor with the A in the bass, G minor, still G minor, C7, 5 chord, 1, little thirds, E flat, that flat 7 again, D minor, 6, and then surprising G major. Back to the intro. Let's have a look at the melody then. In the intro, it's fairly static, or it's quite a slow moving melody. First phrase. And then same sort of beginning, but a different answer. And then to do a variation on that, so you have the same again. It's almost the same with the different answer. But adding this little ending. When you have that new chord come in. Then you have the main melody. So This motif becomes the vehicle for the whole thing, because later on you can hear it move up. It's got that kind of it's a similar motif to, what is that? The is it the Bach cello suite number 1? It's not far off that. And again, look at the intervals, the 6th. There's that joke that, you know, composers make about all kind of love ballads starting with 6s and all superhero themes starting with a 4th or a 5th. And certain intervals become associated with certain motions. There's only one change. It's so nice because that one note that makes the B flat minor outside the key. Because remember, if it was in the key, it'd be B flat major, which would be D natural. What would that be? It's just nowhere near the same. Well, that's, you know, different mood entirely. But to target that one note that is the one note that's different in the chord, that's the one you want to target in the melody. I like that as well, the finishing phrase, because E flat isn't in the key of F either. Because you're borrowing the chord from F minor, it makes sense to use the scale of F minor for that one moment. If you didn't do that, for example, it would sound like this. Which is a different... it stands out more. Same opening phrase, but then you want to take the melody in a different direction. So instead of going, even though it was rising a little bit, but it was still traveling downwards. So totally different. So rising up and then even further. It's nice to have a phrase stop like that. So if you can imagine someone singing this. You know, it's a good having this note sustain and then stop, and having some the other people in the group or the orchestra or even the piano arrangement, just that this voice stops and gives a chance for the other part of the arrangement to kind of shine for a moment. And then we have this one. So it's taking the original phrase and just moving it up diatonically, one note. Right. I mean, obviously you don't want to do it too much, you can imagine. Right, too much, right? So just changing the last note. It was D, and then a little motif. So just like when we had the, hear that, and then this time with this. Again, another moment where the main melody stops and the other part of the accompaniment gets to come to the foreground. So this is gonna stop. Comes back again. I always like these types of encirclement. So the chord is E flat major. The melody choice is A. Right, so it's that kind of Lydian quality, that raised 4. You know, if we were in E flat major, it'd be a natural normally. So to have, but it is it's the A you would expect in the key of F. Right. But we're kind of encircling the G, which is the 3rd in the E flat major chord. Right. And it could have been. But it's nice to have the little chromatic rise up to it. It's that, you know, so if you were like, you got a G chord and you were encircling the G, right? It's that little trick. But it's also the, what is it? That one. Same thing. So that's an appoggiatura. So you have the chord's D minor. So G is a color. It's the 11 or the 4, however you want to think about it. But the emphasis was put on that. Could imagine it resolved immediately. It's not like he couldn't have done that. But by delaying the resolution for a second, it's even more drama. That's just chord tones up to the G. So G in the melody for the G chord. And again, you letting the melody rest and having the other part of the arrangement come to the foreground. Alright, that's us for today, so thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.